Justin, thank you. This morning, we're looking at crime stats when it comes to missing and murdered Indigenous women. According to the National Crime Information Center, in 2016, there were 5,712 reports of missing Indigenous women. But the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System only logged 116 of those cases. And recently, we've been covering a case surrounding Nathan Chasing Horse, which is bringing more attention to missing and murdered Indigenous women. As you may remember, he was arrested in January in North Las Vegas for crimes of sex trafficking and sexual assault.
The former actor was indicted in Clark County on 19 felony charges. According to the court transcripts, 2 women testified that they were connected in life with Chasing Horse through Native Lakota ceremonies. They say Chasing Horse took advantage of his role as leader of the circle to sexually abuse Indigenous women and girls. Last week, Chasing Horse pleaded not guilty to those charges, but he isn't just facing accusations in Nevada. According to police records, investigators have tied him to crimes in Montana, South and North Dakota, and even Canada. And new this morning, we're digging deeper into why most reports of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls go unsolved.
Yeah, in our Two Americas series, Matt Pearl spoke with 2 Indigenous women right here in Las Vegas. They look into the justice system and why some crimes don't make it to prosecution.
I spoke to her that day, and the things that I recall, just hearing her voice and her telling me she loves me and that she'll call me later, you know.
Later never came for Chantel Haynes and her sister, Deanna Blackcrow. The next day, their mother, Deborah Blackcrow, was found dead. She was pregnant at the time, murdered by her husband, Patrick McNeil.
It was very important for people to know like how important she was and that she existed and that her life, it mattered.
That statement, that their mother's life mattered,
like she smiles, she smiles, she smiles, she smiles,
is one Blackcrow and Haynes feel they must continue to express to whomever they can on behalf of their mom and their community.
You're dealing with domestic violence, but Indigenous women, it's like unnoticed.
The acronym is MMIW. It stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. It exists because of the belief within the community that Indigenous women who face domestic violence don't receive the proper attention.
Just not a streamlined way to communicate.
Natalie Weeks is a Native American educator and advocate. She says the biggest issue is poor data sharing between tribes and the federal government. But it goes further.
Native Indigenous peoples, especially women, are murdered at a rate 10 times higher nationally than any other racial ethnic group, despite being less than 2% of the United States population.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, murder is the 3rd leading cause of death for Indigenous women. Another report shows more than 4 out of 5 Indigenous women have experienced violence. In 2021, the federal government created a missing and murdered unit focused on solving these kinds of cases. But a unit and a database can't account for history.
You coming from outside into a tribal community, whether it's rural or urban, there's a lot of mistrust of authority, just because of the historical broken treaties and other things that, happen when you have this vulnerable, disenfranchised community.
That's why seeking help from the federal government, traditional women's shelters, even local police isn't as easy as it seems. Blackcrow and Haynes continue to speak out. They hold events across Nevada to raise awareness. They formed an organization to protect Indigenous women against domestic violence. It's called Her 38 Roses, 1 rose for each year of their mother's life.
My mom's still with me even now. And a lot of the reason why I do a lot of the things that I do, because she's constantly there. Like that drive, that push to do, Sorry. It's okay.
They call for sisters to help sisters. They say as loud as they can that their mother and all like her matter.
She's a beautiful person, like beautiful laugh, smile, everything, just beautiful. And then all of that just like going away, like all her shine, all her light.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Matt Pearl.
The big question, what's the solution when there are a lot of challenges? Well, Las Vegas lawmaker thinks she has it. She wants to make it easier for reports of missing Indigenous people to be shared among law enforcement.
Yeah, Assemblywoman Shay Backus introduced Assembly Bill 125, and she's hoping it'll lead to more success in finding missing Indigenous people. Our Kelsey McFarland joins us live now to explain what's in that new bill. Good morning, Kelsey.
Good morning. To give you guys some background context here, a lot of people in Las Vegas are familiar with the Paiute tribe, and they have their own Paiute police department. But that is not the case for all of the tribes across Nevada. In fact, there are about 20 federally recognized tribes across Nevada, and a lot of them strictly rely on the FBI and the Bureau of Indian Affairs to report missing people. And the BIA has just one agent designated to address missing and murdered people across 3 different states, including Nevada. So Assemblywoman Backus introduced AB 125, which would require all law enforcement, both local and state, to take reports of Indigenous people who go missing from a reservation. Now, that way, the report is entered into the National Crime Information Center immediately, which is key for collaboration among federal, local, and tribal agencies.
It is crucial that information gets into a national database quickly, just in case if something happens, they turn up. I mean, my concern always is human trafficking. We know there's a lot of human trafficking that comes through our bigger cities.
So Metro Police could take the report down and put it in the national database, but wouldn't necessarily be in charge of the investigation. So the bill also requires officers to be trained on how to take a report that may not be in their jurisdiction and respect the sovereignty of local tribes. And that's where there are some pushback. Now, Metro Police, Nevada Sheriffs and Chiefs Association, and Washoe County Sheriffs all had representatives in Carson City to actually push back on this bill. They say they support the idea of timely reports being taken, but there's some technical concerns here regarding local compliance with federal law and also tribal sovereignty. So Backus told us that she is going to continue working with local and state law enforcement to try to work out the details on that bill as she tries to push it through the legislature during this session. Reporting live in Las Vegas, I'm Kelsey McFarland.
Kelsey, thank you. And we spoke to a representative with Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women USA. That's a nonprofit helping families find their loved ones. And advocates there say there's simply not enough public attention to this issue. They're pushing for law enforcement to step up their efforts, and they also hope the public will get involved by spreading the word themselves on social media.
We don't see our people end up in headlines. If our people were prioritized the way that non-natives and white people are, then more of our people would be coming home safely.
Advocates also encourage the public to look up missing persons cases in their area. And for the latest updates on this case and that bill Kelsey just broke down for us, you can head over to our website. That's ktnv.com.